Hello and welcome back to the Mists of Pandaria beta. In this video I will talk about the monk changes for the latest patch 15589, I believe it is. It finally got onto the European realm and I guess all the other realms, because the European realm is located in the US. Now Mechatork, as it's called, is really unstable. They actually had a fifth wave of invites of 250,000 people, which means it will only get better, trust me. Yesterday was so unstable I could barely record anything. Okay, you can level up to 87, so I will do that on my mage and then on my pandas. Panda. But I'm going to start out with the monk changes. There are quite a few actually. So let's start off in general. For all the panda specs, pandas everywhere. Blackout kick. You remember the blackout kick? That was the cost was removed. It was changed from 2 to 1 chi. The dot from this, when you use it on a target at 50% or below, is now 6 seconds instead of 8 seconds. The damage, the actual damage has not changed at all. It's just the duration. Expel harm, if you remember, the self-heal that you can glyph to heal someone else. If you have mana, it costs 6% of your base mana instead of 2%, so that is interesting. But it has a 10-yard range now instead of melee range. So Fortifying Brew, yes. The cooldown that increases your health by 100%, but you can't be healed, have gotten a new effect. When the Fortifying Brew ends, you will be healed for the amount absorbed. Yeah. So you use it, you can't be healed, but all the heals that you receive during this time will be applied to you when the buff falls off, or if you just click it off, basically. Yes, sounds interesting. Jab, if you're a healer, have mana. Jab now costs 6% of your base mana. That is it's actually a nerf. It used to cost 0.5. Okay, 0.5% mana cost to 6% mana cost. Okay. And they have removed some text from Stance of the Fierce Tiger. It only says increases damage done by 20% now. They removed the the text below that made no sense. So yes, I'm currently in DPS spec. I chose this because this actually has the fewest changes to monk. Windwalker, yes. Fire Blossom, the ranged attack that you can use to pull mobs, and I mean it's okay-ish. It's now called Spinning Fire Blossom. Yes. That's it. No, we have some more. Muscle Memory. Remember this? Muscle Memory was the ability, the passive ability even, if I can find it. Oh, they actually, wow, they actually fixed the spellbook now. That's cool. About time. Okay. So I need to, so all my passives are here as well, I guess. Ting the Intoxicated. Yeah, that's the monk healer. The monk healer in Orgrimmar is nowhere to be found, so I had to go to Undercity. That's why I'm here. Okay, so here we go. Muscle Memory. You remember this? It used to increase your crit on your jab. Whenever you jab someone from behind, it stacked up to 100 times, so you can have like 100% crits and you get 1% for every stack. They changed that completely. It now gives you an additional chi when you jab. Okay, and this is interesting. They buffed jab in the previous patch to give you 1 more chi. Okay, so now you generate 2 chi, but with Muscle Memory you get another chi, so you have 3 chi. So yeah, it's okay. And if you only have 4 she like I do, or if you took the talent ascendance, you have 5, which means you have to use jab, use like one ability, like use a blackout kick, and then use jab. You know, depending on how much she you can actually use, or if you don't, you will just waste 1 she every time, basically. And yes, now this is interesting. You know, I remember I complained especially about the tiger, well, the statues of monk. The tank one is really nice. It's actually really good. The healing one is really good as well. The DPS one was really annoying. Yes, because you know you had 2 charges, and when you clicked it, you got 50% damage increase for 6 seconds, which is good. But you had to make sure someone else clicked it for you, because if you click it, you are the only one that got the damage buff. So anyway, what they did, they actually completely removed the on-click effect. Okay, it is no longer in the game, and this is interesting because it would be good to have an on-click effect, okay? But if they really don't want one, they should change the passive effect. Basically, it's I don't know, buff the damage of these effigies, white tiger effigy. I also noticed the effigies that spawn from the statue tends to bug. Like, I'm attacking this boss and they're like standing there. You can actually see it in one of my previous videos, just standing there not doing anything. So that's brilliant. Yes, so yeah, that's all the changes to Windwalker. Yeah, 1 additional she from muscle memory. I don't know, you have to really think. I think it's a way to make Windwalker more complicated to play. You know, people were complaining in the previous patch that it's like above 50% you do this, below 50% you do this, basically. That's it. And they were complaining, people were complaining about, oh, it's too easy, and I totally agree with that. So I think this is another way of like, okay, you're going to get 1 additional she, but to not lose DPS, you need to actually like use your she in the right way. It's like if you do it the other way around, so you get barely any she, so you have to use, you know, the right abilities at the right time. So yeah, I think it's their way of making it harder anyway. So yesterday I really wanted to show you guys how to play Mistweaver. I figured it out and it's interesting and nom 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 to you. I was not able to. The server was so unstable. I was actually in the Temple of the Eighth Serpent and nope, like everything went down. It's so unstable. I'm still surprised we're here right now and jinxed. Totally jinxed. Okay, now for Mistweaver, they have been nerfed pretty hard as well. That's what she said. Now focus. Sherry Manatee, you know, the way you restore your mana only gives you 2% of your max mana instead of 5. Yes, so it's now even harder. It's still channeled, which bugs me. It should not be channeled. If they nerf the amount of mana you get, it should be instant, to be honest. But whatever. Or at least keep it at a set amount of seconds it is channeled. Not like, oh, it's channeled like the more buffs you have, the longer it's channeled, which is just why. Yeah, I tried it yesterday. It was, oh god, it was weird. But at least it won't waste any stacks if you cancel the channel, that is. Okay. She Wave now has an 8-second cooldown, up from 6. Yes. This is one of your abilities, one of your few abilities that costs she, and this is something you should use on cooldown. It is really good, which is probably why they increased the cooldown of it. Yes. We have a new ability. Yes, we do. Let's see if I can find it. Should be here somewhere. No, really? Oh, right. Probably. Here we go. Dematerialize, and oh, it's a passive ability. Okay, makes sense. Yes, it's a new one. Passive ability for Mistweaver healers, monks, thingamajiggies. Whenever you are stunned, you phase out of existence, temporarily causing all melee attacks and spells to miss you for until cancelled. It only has a 10-second cooldown. Can you imagine that in PvP? Wow, holy crap. That something I have to try. Yes. Okay, so that's a new ability. It's passive, obviously. And let's see. Okay. Yes. More nerfs. Jasmine Force Tea now costs way more. It went from 3% to 9%. Holy shit. Look at the mana cost of that. Look at my mana, 120k. It costs almost 11k. Holy shit. Yeah, it's another way for people to not spam it. Because you will be but you will have she, and the server just went down again. Perfect. Let's see, I think it's pretty much down right now. The login server is still up for now. World server down. Nope, it actually crashed. Wow, that is brilliant, dude. Brilliant. Hello, welcome back. Server went down and it crashed. Beta is beta. Right? Okay, let's keep going down. Okay, so Soothing Mists, if I can find it. Holy shit. Okay, Soothing Mists actually got a mana cost now. It used to cost 0 mana for some reason. So it costs mana and mana per second you channel it, which is really, really expensive. They also changed the stance of the White Serpent. I'm not really sure how. I think they just cleaned it up a bit, like with the Fierce Tiger thingy. Okay. Surging Mist now generates 1 She. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is really needed. Just like the server is keeping disconnecting me, or it's going down, I don't know. But yeah, it generates 1 She, and basically you had barely anything that would generate She for you, and the server's offline. Brilliant. Yeah, it's really fucking stable. Clearly. Crap. Yeah, 1 server for the Europeans. Thank you, Bliss, you fucking idiots. Generates 1 She. Really needed. You had to use Jab or the Force Tea or something just to generate, you know. But you could use Soothing Mists. That's what I used mainly actually to get my She. I tried to use the Force mana, but you know it just drained my mana. It didn't work at all. So yeah, no thanks. Teachings of the Monastery. It's the passive ability that every time you use Tiger Palm, I think it's called. Yeah, Tiger Palm. You get a buff. Okay, that lowers the cast time of your next Surging Mists, I think, and it stacks up to 3 times, 5 times even. They buffed the buff you get. Used to last 12 seconds. It is now up to 30 seconds, so that's nice. And the Thunder Focus team, the one that gives your next healing ability like double the amount of power, double the amount of healing, has a cooldown of 8 seconds now. That's all the Mistweaver changes, and they are more or less nerfs. The Dematerialize passive talent or ability is really nice. I think it might be a bit OP. I guess we'll find out, but yeah, it might be needed. I don't know. And that Certain Mist generates 1 She is just really good. And yeah, so, but a lot of nerfs, you know, especially to Humanity, and your heals basically cost more now, which sucks. Yes, and I'm going to go into Brewmaster, and we actually have some talents I'm going to go through as well. Some new talents for every monk, obviously. But I'm going to harder. I'm going to go through Brewmaster whenever the server is back up. So yeah, all I have to do is wait. It usually takes 5 or 10 minutes. Usually 5. It's down for 5 minutes. It's up for 10. That's brilliant. Okay, I see you. We'll see you in a second for you anyway. So be right back. Hello and welcome back to the most stable beta server ever, Mechatorque for a win. Now I'm going to talk about Brewmaster and the changes to Brewmaster and a really cool new ability that I really want to try out. I will also go through the talents and then we are done for now. If the server holds, yay. So first of all, we have nerfs. Whoop! Breath of Fire that received a cooldown previous patch now does way less damage. Yes, it was almost nerfed. The damage was almost nerfed by 50%. Yes, pretty insane. Okay, now here's an interesting thing. Brewmaster Training, which is the one of the passive ones. Here we go. Also makes your Tiger Palm cost no Shi. Okay. Yeah, which is interesting. It says, well, it's not supposed to cost any Shi, but apparently it still does. So, bug maybe, don't know. It does 0 to 0 damage. Okay, yeah, it must be bugged. Okay. Now for the new ability, I have to show you this. Clashing Ox Charge. 40-yard range, instant 35-second cooldown. Basically, you charge the enemy target, and you force the enemy target to meet you halfway. And when you hit him, you stun it for 2 seconds. Wow, that in PvP, I can't wait to try that. That would be awesome. Yes. Dissing Haze, you know, it went from 40 to 10 energy in the previous patch. It now does a high amount of threat. Yes, awesome. Do want now. For something not so brilliant, we have Guard. Guard has a new icon. That's cool. Wow, the server went down. I will be gone pretty soon then. Guard now has a 30-second cooldown. Remember in the video I did where I tanked Jade of the Serpent? Temple of the Serpent, yeah. I could not use my Guard, you know. Probably because it did not show me any cooldown on the bars. It did not show any cooldown on the tooltip. But now it has a 30-second cooldown, which is interesting. But they have changed some other things. Keg Smash, which is really nice, no longer costs 1 Shi. It costs 40 energy as well instead. But it actually generates 2 Shi. Okay, so you can use that to generate 2 Shi, and then go back to Clobber or whatever you have, or Jab, or depending on your weapon. Yes. Purifying Brew, the one that removes all our staggered damage. Yes. Now has a 6-second cooldown, down from 45. Yeah, and I'm gonna show you why. It's not really hard to figure out why. Yes. Shuffle. Every day you shuffle. Shuffle now no longer has a cooldown at all. and it's not hard to. I'm gonna go through this, but I'm gonna just show you the last thing, and that is the stance we have for the tanks. You know, that reduces your damage taken. You cannot be critical hit. They actually added something. Yeah, before it says it increases your chance to stagger damage, they have added increases your total health by 30%. In the passive stance ability, you gain 30% more health. That is just insane, but it's probably needed. We'll find out when I try the new changes. Okay, so I'm gonna go through what I think is up with all these thingies. Yes, Breath of Fire nerf. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's it's not like we have issues with AoE threat, to be honest. Now with the new dissing haze change, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't complain, and the server went down like a boss. Yeah, with the new dissing haze doing a high amount of threat and the server's down, right? No? I think the world server's down. It's always down. Everything's down. Connected. Okay, yeah. Clearly. I heard you want to play beta. Well, you can, because you got disconnected. Great. Okay. Anyway. Now, Guard has a 30-second cooldown, which is pretty shit. Offline. Brilliant. But the statue you put down, Black Ox, as a tank, is actually really, really good. I mean, it gives you a shield. I mean, the first time I tried tanking, even before the previous patch, I took barely any damage. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm taking no damage whatsoever. So, yeah, it was needed. Definitely, the statue is really good. So now you need to use the statue all the time to absorb as much as you can with Guard on 30-second cooldown. But what if the statue can't absorb any more damage? Your Guard is on cooldown. What do? Well, what I think you're going to do, what Blizzard wants you to do, is to use Shuffle. Okay, Shuffle to stagger the incoming damage. You have no way to absorb the damage. You used Guard. You used your brew to increase your dodge rating. Can't even remember what it's called, and I can't go into the server. So you use Shuffle, and you stagger the damage as much as possible. And when you notice that you're taking shitloads of damage from the stagger buff or debuff, you use Purifying Brew. Okay. And then you use Shuffle again, and then Purifying Brew. And you keep using that until you notice, Guard is off cooldown. You use Guard, and then you just keep going. The problem with this is that if you have to keep using Shuffle and then Purify and Shuffle and Purify, Shuffle is still a channeled ability. Okay, so that is pretty shit. What I need to do is to either lower the cooldown on Guard, actually add a cooldown to Shuffle, but make it instant, like a buff. Like Shuffle, it gives you a buff that tells you that, okay, the next 3 melee attacks will be staggered, okay, but have a cooldown. Okay, yes. Still have the Purifying Brew still needs to have a short cooldown. The increased health from the stance is actually really, really nice. Yes, not sure how that would play out. I have to try it out. And the new Clashing Ox charge sounds really cool. I'm gonna go try it out for sure. And I really want to start leveling my mage first, obviously. My mage to 87, but I mean, this server is so unstable. And it's even It was even this unstable before they sent out the new invites. Okay. We need a new European server like about 2 weeks ago. Okay. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, I still have the talents. I guess I can go through them even though the server is offline. The current talent we have, which is called Charging Ox Wave. Okay. You know, the one where you charge, or where it sends a ball in a line and it charges and knocks back your targets. The knockback effect went from 5 yards to 40 yards. So it's, I haven't tried that ability yet. Actually, I should probably go through all of them, but that seems like a really good buff. Momentum, you know, the one I usually always pick, increases your movement speed when you use roll or torpedo. We can't use speed torpedo because we're not 90 yet. So, but anyway, they just nerfed it a bit by 5%, so you get 25% per stack. It's still 50% movement speed for 10 seconds, which is really good. Yes, if you use it 2 times though, of course. There are 2 new talents. Oh god, this server. Yeah, I wish I could show you it, but holy shit. 2 new talents called Dampen Harm and Healing Elixirs. Dampen Harm makes you dampen the damage from the most harmful attacks done to you. The next 3 attacks that deal damage equal to 10% or more of your total health are reduced in half. Okay. It costs 1 Chi, instant cast, and has a 30-second cooldown. Or you have Healing Elixirs, which, let's see, anytime you drink from a brew or tea, you know, I have the tea as a DPS that gives me energy, or you have the, yeah, like the purifying brew, and you know, yeah, all those things, basically, brew or tea. You also gain 10% of your total health every time you use them. Yes, it cannot occur it can only occur once every 15 seconds. But it sounds like a PvP ability. I think Dampen Harm is really, really much better though. I think they're actually on the same tier of talents actually. I'm gonna check it out if the server lets me back in. Gosh, so unstable. It's really insane. Oh, come on. And the load times, I mean, sure, the performance is better. Oh, one server's down. Ooh, brilliant. Yes, okay, so yeah, that's all the changes and new things to monks. I am going to try and level my mage, which will be close to impossible at this point because of the brilliant server of Mechatorque. So I heard you like beta, I do, but right now the server is so unstable that I'd rather like go and do something else. Yep. And if you have a monk, remember to go to Undercity. I did not see the one in Orgrimmar. I'm not sure what they did with it or did to him. So go to Undercity and remember to set your Hearthstone because you need to go to Pandaria and all that. So yes. Okay, well, that's it for this video. I'm going to try and actually get something done now. So thanks for watching and see you later.